The following is a CNBC original production.
You want to be rich? Let me tell you some secrets. First of all, get focused. I'm talking about get clarity like that in terms of what you want to achieve in your life. You want to have the kind of success that you dream of, that is like inside of here, that's deep inside of you. You know damn well that you deserve success. You want to be rich? Make other people successful. You want to be an entrepreneur? Who's going to invest in you? It's a person. It's about people. Relationships drive your success. Everything that you want to achieve is going to be achieved with and through other people. You want to find that millionaire inside? Figure out who the individuals are that you need to know in order to be successful.
Tonight from the global headquarters of CNBC, America's business channel. Please welcome Fierazzy. Here are our 4 money mentors for you tonight. Some real advice for you. You know, everyone wants to be a millionaire. Who doesn't? But yet, actually getting from where you are to that point can be a Herculean task. So let's find out how exactly you did it. Keith, you came from anything but wealth.
No question. I actually grew up in Pittsburgh, and my dad was a steel worker, and my mom was a cleaning lady. But the one thing that I know is that my father gave me so much. He used to look at his hands, and he'd say, you know, this after coming back in from work, Keith, I don't want you to have to work this hard. But they made sure that I had a great education. So they got me in this really awesome, small, private elementary school. I'm talking like on the Mellon estate with only 8 kids in all of my grade. And here I was, like I was caddying for the parents of all the kids that I used to go to school with. My mom would clean the houses of those parents. I'd have to go over on the weekends and, you know, be with her while she was cleaning those houses. But you know what I learned by hanging out and being among all those rich people? What I learned is that I could actually not have to be born into it in order to get there. But when I was caddying, I noticed something, just like you did. I noticed something that the rich people did all the time. And what they did is they helped each other. The rich people helped their kids get jobs. The rich people found deals for the other rich people. They consistently helped each other be successful. And I just realized at some point along the way, well, wait a second. I could either be born into that or be miserable because I wasn't born into that, or I could just build the relationships. Because what was really happening there was that these people knew each other, they cared about each other, and they were helping each other, just like any of us would do in this room when you care about somebody. So I started thinking about that a little bit more, and that's when I came to the realization that it's relationships that are the core to your success.
Hi, I wanted to ask, what advice do you have for someone like me that's 25 years old that's trying to get out there?
Are you surrounding yourself with amazing people who you aspire to be like? Are there people around you who you look at, and at 25 years old, you're going up to them and you're saying, I want to be you someday? Do you have 5 of those people around you?
I have some, but not 5.
Get more.
Okay.
The more, and by the way, you're being immensely generous to them by saying that to them, and they're going to want then you to be a success after they've given you advice. It's almost like they're investing in you. Think about you as a company. The answer is 5 people. Pick 3 people that you someday long to be like, that you aspire to have in your life, and pick 2 people that are going to hold you accountable for your dream, and then on all 5 of them, try to make them as successful as you possibly can. And once you start filling your time and filling your life with those individuals, as I suggested to that gentleman over there, then I guarantee you'll be spending a lot less time with those people that drain you when you find the right people. Create an environment around yourself.
Where did you find your first mentor?
People think that you're only allowed to have one mentor at any given time. And that's just total BS. In fact, there are people in your lives today, so many people. You should have tons of mentors. Anybody who can teach you something is a mentor.
What is it that you did to stay inspired during the hard times?
Make sure that you do not wallow in it, all right? Because the worst thing you could be doing is feeling miserable about your misery instead of envisioning where it is you're going to go next. Because I guarantee you, if you envision failure and you're wallowing in that misery, that's where you're going to stay a very long time. One of the things that I see about extraordinary people is that they tend to be extraordinarily generous as well. We do a lot of work with a lot of really large organizations, and those CEOs, they're out there busting their butts to make sure that the people in the greatest ones are working to make sure the people in their company are successful. When I was a peon at Deloitte & Touche, I was busting my butt to make sure that my boss was successful. And guess what? I got rewarded for that. I got rewarded for that by early promotions. I got rewarded from that from a lot of mentorship. So I think that if we often walk around this world and we ask ourselves, how can we make the people around us successful? I think you're going to be successful.
And Keith, can I add one other thing to that? Study your successes. You just told a story of a time, not when you failed, but a time when you succeeded. And from that success, you were able to learn what your strengths are, how you add value to other people.
If we're doing stuff that we're miserable doing, we're not going to be doing it that well. If you find no joy in what you're doing, like I said earlier, if you got a boss that's a jerk, get the heck out. If you have no joy in what you're doing, try to find something you can have some joy in, because I don't think you're going to excel.
But Keith, we have so many people that are saying, if you don't love your job, quit it and go find something else.
Well, that's
and then
silly.
they're unemployed.
That's just stupid.
It
I
is
agree.
stupid.
Yeah,
People are doing
stupid.
stupid things.
Stupid.
All right, we got a note of agreement here.
If you want to be extraordinary in any job, do exactly what you said you would do, when you said you would do it, the way you said you would do it.
Once you've done that, take it to the next step and say, what else can I do? And ask that question before you ask for the promotion or the raise. Make yourself invaluable, which is what we were just hearing a little earlier.
The people who are not successful are people who are afraid of making mistakes.
Every time I made big mistakes, it was usually because I was a coward.
Excellent. Thank you for saying that. Is
I was
true.
incapable of firing that individual, and it eroded my cash flow in a startup business too long. I was incapable of stepping up and telling my investors that this is a crappy business. We shouldn't even be in it anyway. The times I've made my big mistakes, I was a coward.
Oftentimes, the biggest mistake is to let that fear drive the choices that you make. So if they're too afraid to step out there, to stand apart from others,
But that's why they make entrepreneurs. And the point is, you have to make a decision. Are you going to work for somebody for the rest of your life, or are you going to work for yourself?
That's what it's all about, becoming extraordinary. Let's give a round of applause for that tonight. Thanks to our audience and our money mentors, and we want to thank them for being with us. Keith Feirazza, Larry Winget, Robert Kiyosaki, and Dr. Laura Morgan Roberts. It's been wonderful.